been a 2-hour, 45-minute hike up this gnarly mountain, and we've approached the yellow house. Woo! Made it! Woo!
Hey, let's go. Welcome to Let's See What Happens podcast, dog. Hey, check this out. So before we even start with anything, you gotta ring the bell. We both gotta ring the bell. I'll go first, and then you go.
The little fucking bell.
That's the bell right there. Yep.
Nice.
So,
what's the reason behind the bell?
not only are you now a guest, a forever guest of the show,
Yes, sir.
but you are now a part of the secret society of the bell ringers.
The bell ringers.
And I'll show you the secret handshake off camera.
All right.
Okay?
All right.
All right.
Let's go.
All right. So first, I want to thank you for carving time out
Yeah.
of your day, of your life, and coming on and recording an episode, dog. I'm very grateful for it.
Yeah, for sure. My pleasure.
And I am very interested in hearing your story.
Well, obviously we go way back, man. So we need to
So
ask the opportunity.
These microphones killing me a little bit.
No, it's good. We're good. It's like they're not even there.
Okay, so I was thinking and trying to remember how long you and I have known each other. I was thinking maybe about 19 years. Am I right?
Probably
19, 20
bro.
years?
Yeah.
How old are you right now?
I'm going to be 40 around 39.
You're 39?
I'm 39. Dude, we used to work out at LA Fitness in Alhambra. I was probably 18, 19, dude. This has probably been longer, bro.
I met you through Georgie, right?
Dude, George. Yeah. But I remember, dude.
What do you remember?
It was you, me, George, little Mikey. Remember little Asian Mikey? He was all swole.
Who? No, I do not know. Who the fuck is that?
Yeah, dude. We would go work out with him too.
Who's Mikey?
Mikey. Oh my gosh, dude. Some Asian guy. He was sleeved, short dude, but he was really stocky. Buff dude. If you see him, you recognize him.
Wait a minute. Did he hang out with George?
No, but we would work out at the gym with him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember. He had a big old tattoo of a dragon.
Yeah.
So speaking of George, so a couple of weeks back, I was talking to George.
Yeah.
And just bullshitting with him, talking to him, and we were talking about the show.
Yeah.
Because I've been trying to get Georgie on for a while already, and he told me that you would be the perfect guest. Well, before he said that, he told me we were talking about cold plunge, right? We were talking about working out.
Yeah.
We were talking about just health, mental health, and physical health, different goals for this year, for 2025.
Yeah.
And when I started talking about the cold plunge, he told me that you would be the perfect guest for the podcast because you participated in a Wim Hof retreat in Poland.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Okay.
It was a winter expedition.
And I am very excited to hear that story. I want to know, but before we even get started with that bullshit though, before we even get started with that story, Doc, what's your name?
Joey.
Where'd you grow up?
East LA. East Coast.
Hey, I feel like it's very important for everybody to know where motherfuckers grew up from.
Yeah.
Where motherfuckers grew up, because that, I feel, not only does it give you a little bit of an idea about them and who they are, but it also kind of makes you maybe, because you know where somebody's from, it makes you feel as if you kind of know them a little bit more than what you do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
There's no questions. Like, because sometimes when I'm watching a podcast, I'm thinking to myself, where's that motherfucker from? You know what I'm saying? And people don't usually say that.
Yeah.
But,
Can I resonate with him? You know what I'm saying? Like, where is he from? You know, what are his roots? Yeah,
yes.
of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Wim Hof, and what'd you call it?
It was a winter expedition.
So before you even how were you led to Wim Hof? How'd you find out about him? How did this all start for you with him? And I want to know that.
So how it all started was my mom was actually diagnosed with breast cancer, right? And I want to say I was probably about 20, like late 20s. And it was interesting because as my mom's going through, you know, her treatment, chemo, she was on, you know, quite a few different types of medication. And during this time, she started to get really sick from, all the medication she was taking. So she schedules an appointment with her doctor and she says, hey, listen, look, all this medication I'm taking, 20 some odd 30 pills a day. I'm feeling, sick from the pills. And they said, okay, great. Take this other pill to help with the nauseousness and the upset stomach or whatever. And when she told me that, just something didn't feel right. And this is when you kind of start to question the medical system.
Okay.
And so not much really sparked an interest in regards to the cold plunge at that time, as much as just questioning, right, the medical industry. Fast forward a few years later, my daughter, she was born with a very, very rare syndrome. Ultra rare. It's like 1 in 50,000 or something. What was that syndrome? It's called Sturge-Weber syndrome, right? And it's a brain abnormality. They have seizures, or they're born with glaucoma. So essentially, it's just a brain abnormality. So when she was born with this illness, as a parent, you feel helpless, especially when there's no cure. There's very little support system here in the U.S. because it's so rare. So there's not enough research, there's not enough funding. It's not like cancer, right? There's billions and billions of dollars in that industry. So you kind of want to look at different modalities of healing, of treatment, of health, not only for her, but, she was our last child. So we had other kids that we had to look out for as well from a preventative standpoint. And, in doing research from just different types of, healthy alternatives, you start coming across, ways of just eating healthier. We started to look at different food sources, especially mushroom, right? And I'm talking about functional mushroom, not like the trip mushrooms. I'm talking about functional mushrooms that you eat, that you buy at the store and stuff, and how that's so beneficial as well. So I started to really do research on different types of mushroom as well, and like reishi, lion's mane for the brain and stuff. And that was a really big one. Like there's a really cool special mushroom called lion's mane, which, it's starting to become more and more popular, but it's tremendous for the brain. And that's one thing that really struck me as a positive thing to start to implement to my daughter, because she had a brain abnormality. So I said, look, you obviously don't want to stop there, Thank you. You don't want to stop there. What else can we do? You know what I mean? So, in doing research, you come across cold plunges. And I just remember, as I'm just doing research on, living healthier, I just come across this one guy named Wim Hof.
What year is this?
Bro, this was like 2020, probably 2020.
2020. Okay.
Yeah, it was probably mid-COVID.
Okay.
And what happened, dude, was it was a complete trip, because the moment you research cold exposure, cold plunge, polar plunge, cold showers, the first thing that goes into people's mind, the first thing that went into my mind was, fuck that. Fuck that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nobody wants to be cold, dog. Especially cold fucking water, bro.
Nobody, dude. And as soon as I said no, that's what struck an interest.
Why?
Exactly. Why? I'm of the mindset, I was, born in East LA. It wasn't always an easy life growing up. Life wasn't always easy. So I was used to things not coming easy. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't, things didn't come easy. You had to go out there and get it. And then, to be honest, my late father-in-law, who passed away 2 years ago as well, he was a Tibetan Buddhist. And the things that he taught about the difference between all humans is mindset, strengthening the mind. So connecting all the dots between cold exposure and the benefits of it. And at this point, I didn't even know all the benefits of it. I just knew that, doing cold plunges or cold showers are beneficial, not even knowing the extent of the benefits. But just being uncomfortable with the cold, even though you knew that so many people were doing it, that's what started to intrigue me. And I started to think like, no, like this definitely has to be a mindset of people like to be warm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People love warm showers. People like to cozy up in nice little sweaters. And you know what I mean? Like everyone just wants to be comfortable. But that's not the way we evolve. That's not the way we grow. So at that point, that's when I started to do some deep research on Wim Hof and all the benefits. And then the list just went on, right? From inflammation to sleeping better, people that suffer from PTSD, and at some point you start to think, I'd be stupid not to do this. You know what I mean?
I agree, because of all the benefits.
Because of all the benefits. It's free. You have it at your fingertips. We all take showers. All of us take showers every day.
Dude, the only thing I knew about Wim Hof was that he is the guy who made cold plunge kind of mainstream. And he made cold plunge famous. That's all I knew about him, dog.
Yeah.
But when you agreed to come on, I started doing research on Wim Hof so that I knew I knew what you were talking about.
Yeah.
And just to educate myself on him.
He was a pioneer. And, he's been doing this for decades. It's the Wim Hof method and training and cold exposure specifically is huge in Europe, specifically the Netherlands and Poland. And it's starting to become popular in the US for obvious reasons, right? There's a lot of not only health benefits, but also in performance benefits as well, right? You get to heal the body quicker, hence you can perform better the next day or so on and so forth. So, so that's kind of how I came across it. But yeah, I mean, he's a very fascinating human being. I mean, from injecting himself with E. coli, and proving, in different facets of, not being able to be affected, by these things, these diseases and sicknesses and stuff. But yeah, it's huge. It's huge in Europe.
I was hearing him talk. Well, so now after my research, I learned about his philosophy behind the cold plunge, and how he said that he was searching for answers. He read books. He studied different esoteric mysteries and just trying to find answers.
Yeah.
He said that he was like, the answer is not in your head.
Right.
He said the answer is the connection between your mind and your body, dog.
Yep. Yeah.
And he said, hey, this makes so much sense because my belief and his belief were the same.
Yeah.
And when I heard him talking about the mind-body connection and how exposure to the cold water, the cold plunge, that makes the mind-body connect because your mind has to connect with your body in order to regulate itself and be able to adapt to the cold.
Yeah.
And he said that nature is his, he said the cold.
Yeah.
The cold is his teacher.
Yeah.
The cold is his God.
Yeah, absolutely. Mother Nature at the end of the day.
Yes, dog, yes.
And he said something that I think a lot of us can resonate with, especially as parents. Him and his wife had, and he shares this, he's very vocal about this, and it's in his book as well. But
did you read his book?
I read his book.
What's it called?
It's called The Wim Hof Method.
No shit.
And he and his wife, they had 4 kids. She had schizophrenia, but they didn't know it. She didn't know it. And
wait, his wife had schizophrenia.
His wife was schizophrenic.
Wow.
And out there, they didn't know right? So they were giving her a whole bunch of medication, right? Uncertain of, what it truly was, because we don't know, we're learning so much more now than back in the 80s, And at their 5th child, bro, women go through postpartum and stuff. So between postpartum and schizophrenia, she committed suicide. Shortly after their 5th child.
Damn.
And what he said is that his kids saved his life, but the cold healed him. Bro, when I read that, just being a parent, like I can't even fathom, right? Losing my wife, anyone, close to me like that. But once you start to practice cold exposure, you understand. You know what I mean? Because people that suffer from an illness, from PTSD, and we can start talking about, a goal that I have. You.
Oh yeah, I want to hear about the goal. Not yet, but I want to hear about it. Definitely want to hear about that.
It's very meditative in a weird way, because when you're in the cold, bro, whether it's a cold plunge or a cold shower, you're not thinking about anything, bro. Nothing. You're not thinking about finances. You're not thinking about work. You're not thinking about your family. You're not thinking about sickness. You're not thinking about nothing. All you're thinking about is, fuck, this is cold, and breathe. That's it. That's it, bro. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
It's like, motherfucker. It's like it gives you the opportunity to quiet out filter out the unnecessary noise, the unnecessary distractions, and it makes you to be self-conscious.
Yeah.
Self-aware, dog.
And guess what? You have to tap in.
You have to tap in.
There's no one that's going to save you but yourself.
It's a good way to put it.
You know what I mean?
Man. I like that. You have to tap in.
And it's huge, and that's why I say it's so meditative. Yeah. You know what I mean? So anyway, fast forward, doing research on Wim Hof, and then I told my wife, I'm like, hey, dude, there's going to be this really cool winter expedition in Poland.
How long after you were introduced to Wim Hof, how long after did this go down?
Bro, this was like a year later.
So you were learning about him for about a year.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And I did.
Were you plunging, cold plunging?
Yes and no. And I say that because I was doing cheat cold plunging. Like, I didn't know that you had to, because we had a horse trough, one of those like huge, 100 and something gallon horse troughs. And I remember going to Costco and just buying, 6 or 7 bags of ice, which I thought was a lot at the time. But you put in that much volume of water, it doesn't do shit to it. Okay. It cools it down, but it's not going to to be anywhere near freezing.
36 degrees or something like that?
Not even
or
that,
below
bro.
36 degrees?
Well more than that, dude. 37 degrees, anything under like 37 degrees of not moving water will start to freeze.
Okay.
So, I mean, dude, you're getting to like 60s, bro. Like, it's not that bad. You know what I'm saying? But it's shocking nonetheless. And that's part of cold exposure. And that's one thing that I want, your listeners to know and understand, is that a cold plunge or cold exposure can mean it's different for everybody. Essentially, it's just being uncomfortable enough to the point where you can sustain and sit there. Right? So you don't necessarily need to do an ice plunge or a polar plunge in order to reap the benefits of it. You know what I mean? It can simply be a cold shower. You know what I'm saying? And to this day, dude, when I started doing research on Wim Hof, to this day, dude, I take cold showers every fucking day. And, there's times where I don't, where you shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Like if, for example, if you work out and your goal is to build muscle and gains, you don't want to take a cold plunge or a cold shower within 3 hours. I'm sorry.
Why?
Because it actually suppresses muscle growth.
Is that like swelling?
Exactly. Right? Okay. Yeah. So it heals your muscles too quick. Right. So you definitely don't want to do it within those 3 hours. So if I go to the gym in the morning and I have work right after, right, like I obviously won't do a cold shower.
What about before?
You can definitely do it before. And it's going to spike your adrenaline, which is amazing for your workout. It's going to wake you the heck up. Right. It's better than any cup of coffee. I can guarantee you that right now, bro. And your body never adapts to it.
That's what he says, dude. Wim Hof says, he was saying that through the cold plunge, through the cold, you are, and his breathing technique.
Yeah. We'll talk about that.
You're able to control your endocrine system, your immune system, you're able to say if you're feeling sick or if you have an injury, do your breathing exercise and focus on whatever it is that's bothering you.
Yeah.
And you'll fucking fix it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I believe it, dude. I believe him when I believe him. I've been practicing.
I've always been a character of trial and error. We're all guinea pigs for ourselves. Like, you always have to try. And look, not everything's going to work for you that's going to work for me, vice versa. There's a few things that I think generically work for every human being, right? And then there's some, like, you can start to go into different types of like Ayurvedic science, which is like this Indian tradition of how some people are maybe not meant to be in the cold. You know what I'm saying? Just based off of, you know, their blood type, etc. But in general, everyone can definitely benefit from cold showers, cold plunges. And even if it's not from the cold exposure, it's mindset as well. So, you know, rewind a little bit before, you know, when I told my wife I wanted to do this expedition, you know, one, we didn't have the financial means, right? And shortly before the trip, you know, we end up finding out that we had to move out of our house, essentially being kicked out from our pad. So anyway, well, before I even go into that, when, you know, speaking of George, you know, as I knew this winter expedition was coming up, I kind of started to want to prepare, right? So I started cheating with like cold showers and like what that meant. And just to kind of give you a quick overview, especially for your listeners, which I would highly recommend how to start, right? You know, you certainly can, if you don't have any cold exposure, you know, experience, you don't need to jump in an ice bath the first time. Sure, you can, but you don't need to. You can start off with a cold shower today. You know what I mean? And we're in California. It doesn't get crazy cold, right? It's not like we're in Poland or whatever. But the first thing that you want to do is, like you mentioned, is just focus on your breath. Take deep, intentional breaths in and out, right? As you're taking your shower, right? You're taking your shower, you know, you're washing up or whatever. And then once you're done, you just take deep, intentional breaths, right? The moment you start to feel a little dizzy, that's when you know you're ready.
No shit.
So you're taking these deep breaths. And what I like to do is I'll take a big inhale in and I'll just crank it cold while I'm holding my breath.
All right. Okay.
Wait about 10 seconds and then I'll release. And then I'll take another big inhale and then I'll release. And I'll keep that same pattern of breathing that I was doing before going cold. And I'll just continue that same pattern. Because you have to remember something. Your breath is what's going to get you through anything and everything. If your child gets hurt, what do you tell them? Breathe. Because what do they do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have to truly focus on your breath.
Do you think the focus on the breath is what takes the focus away from what it is that you're going through?
Yes and no. When you start to hyperventilate, what that's going to do is make your skin sensitive. And guess what? You're going to be even worse in that situation.
Okay.
But you have to take deep, intentional breaths, even when it's cold. You don't stop taking those deep, intentional breaths. You have to just continue to breathe. And that's how I'd recommend to start. And, you know, for the first shower, do 15 seconds.
15
you
seconds,
know what I mean?
Yeah.
15 seconds for the first week, every day 15 seconds, and then slowly work your way up.
And it gets easier. I was doing, so maybe about 2 years ago, I was doing a cold shower every morning, dog. Like I had an early start time of 6. So I was taking cold showers like at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Fucking cold. But it woke me up.
Yeah.
And I felt good. I would start the day off on a very positive note.
Of course.
Then I stopped.
Why do you think that is, though? Why do you think you start your day off with a positive note?
I think it's because of a lot of things. I think, well, first of all, because that cold water wakes me up. Like you said, gets your adrenaline going.
Yeah.
Right? Also, it's like making your bed in the morning.
Yeah.
You get a W. Like I did some hard shit already.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fucking cold. I went in there. I did it. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want a fucking cold shower at 5 a.m., dog.
Yeah.
But I was fucking doing it.
Yeah.
So that, and then also, I believe that there's benefits, physical benefits,
of course,
mental benefits. So my belief in that, I think also propelled me in a positive momentum into my day.
Yeah.
You know, I've been fucking getting in my pool, dog, since I started. Since we spoke on the phone, I saw the pictures of you in the cold, in the snow. I'll put the pictures up too.
Yeah.
With no shirt, just your fucking calzones on.
That's it, bro.
In the fucking snow in fucking Poland, dog.
Yeah.
I got motivated. I was inspired.
Yeah.
So I started fucking cold plunging in the back.
Yeah.
Fucking cold. But I also started using Wim Hof's breathing techniques.
Which makes
because I started watching videos on him.
Yeah.
And I did that fucking today. I was like, you know what? I worked out this morning. I hit the weights. I ran because fucking Georgie got in my head. Hey, fucking George. Hey, motherfucker, you're going to be watching this too. Hey, your fucking name is coming up a lot. You're next, motherfucker. You cannot dodge this anymore. You're fucking next, dog. So Georgie got in my head the other day and he was telling me about running.
Yeah.
And he's like, fucking Ray J, you're a fucking athlete. You know how he is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Gets all pumped up. Yeah, you're a fucking athlete. Don't you forget that. Hey, dude, that left an impression.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I am a fucking athlete.
Yeah.
George is fucking right.
Yeah.
And he's telling me you need to start running again. So I started running also. So this morning I fucking hit the weights. I fucking ran, dog. And
you fucking ended in a fucking plunge.
Yes, bro. And I was like, I have to do all of this because you're coming. Yeah. I can't come on. You can't come on, talk about this, and me be like, nah, I haven't tried it yet. No, I had to fucking do it, dog. Yeah. So,
but you nailed it, man. To start the day off that way, it propels your day off like no other. It's like the ultimate adrenaline. To your point, you've already done something extremely challenging. So not only does it give you this confidence that I've already tackled something that's extremely difficult, right? But I've done something super beneficial, for my body. And it just, not only does it give you the confidence, you just, again, like you said, you feel like you've already tackled something extremely challenging that you did not want to do. But guess what? You did it anyway because it's beneficial for you, and that's part of the mindset as well, right? Is to be disciplined here. And that's something that we all need to work on a little more, and then see it more as a lifestyle, not a diet or a New Year's resolution. You know what I'm saying? Because all that shit's bullshit, dude. None of that shit works, dude. Mm-hmm. You have to make lifestyle changes. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you make lifestyle changes, then guess what? You're going to continue to do that years and years ahead of you. Mm-hmm. And look at, dude, as parents, we're leaving a legacy for our kids, man. You know what I'm saying? So what shitty parents would we be if we were hypocrites? You know what I'm saying?
If we were bad examples.
And bad examples, dude.
Gotta walk the walk, dude.
Dude, that does not sit well with me at all, bro. Mm-mm. You know what I mean?
Gotta walk the walk.
For sure. Yeah.
And then also, like, I have 3 boys.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't want these guys to look at me and say, fuck.
Yeah.
Because one day they're gonna grow up, dog. When they grow up and they're gonna start noticing the differences in people.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want them to look at me and say, fuck, my dad's a piece of shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at him. That motherfucker, he's a fat ass.
Yeah.
He fucking his skinny arms.
Yeah.
Fucking his chest is sunken in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I want them to be like, hey, my fucking dad, that motherfucker right there.
Yeah.
He's a fucking
That's
badass.
a real one. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a real one. Yeah.
And I'm not saying that I am a badass.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. I want my kids to see me fucking lifting weights.
Yeah.
They see me reading. I read a lot. They see me reading. I sit them down in the morning and I tell them, well, not every morning, like on Saturday mornings, we'll sit down, or Sunday mornings when I got all 3 of them by themselves.
Yeah.
Hey, let's sit down. Let's all talk. So we sit on the floor. What are you grateful for?
Yep.
I want to hear what you're grateful for.
Yeah.
What are you grateful for? I'm grateful for my family. They already know. They already know what's up. So they all have answers. And even if it's fucking just generic answers,
doesn't matter.
I'm still making them think and realize that there are things to be grateful for.
Yeah. So, and that's what they're grateful for. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, gratefulness is different for everybody. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's a really cool tool for them to be able to learn this at such an early age, right? Because then as you grow older, you're going to start to see, the positive in things versus the negative, right? It's like always looking at the glass half full. You know what I mean?
That's mandatory, man.
Yeah, for sure.
That's one thing that's another thing. I know we're getting a little bit off topic, but that's one. But no, it's all related.
It's all related.
Mental.
It's all mental.
Like you said, mindset.
Yeah.
You motivation is one thing, but discipline is another.
Yeah.
And changing and sticking to a mindset is fucking discipline, dog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I try to tell these guys, because me, I got a little thing that I go through in the mornings or sometimes throughout my day.
Yeah.
Right. I talk about everything that I'm grateful for. I talk about everything that I want to do. That just with me, me being self-observant, fucking be self-conscious.
Yeah.
Hearing myself talk. I try to make these guys do the same thing. Yeah. I tell them hey, look in the mirror and say, hey, it's going to be a good day today.
Yeah.
Say, hey, I love you. Say, I love you. Say, Remy, tell yourself I love you.
Yeah.
I love you. All right, good. I make them all say I love you in the mirror.
Yeah.
So that when they do grow up and they get a little bit older and they understand what this is, they're going to still be doing it. But when they're doing it, it's going to actually mean more because they're going to understand what it is.
Absolutely.
And that's how I want, like you said, man, like you fucking said, having the perspective, perceiving the world as a glass that's half full.
Yeah. Because I think a lot of kids don't do that, right? Like I think society's changing a little bit, and if we don't do this, I think it's gonna get lost. To be honest, but our kids look up to us at the end of the day.
Yeah, they do.
So, but yeah, so that was kind of the way it all started.
So you got kicked out of your pad.
So we were getting kicked out of our house, and
where was this pad at? Where were you at?
In Rolling Heights.
Okay.
And bro, the day, the week that I was gonna be gone at this winter expedition was the day that we were gonna be our last days there. Mm. The day that I got back was gonna be our last day there. Mm. So being a family man, being the protector, right? And this was this was a very difficult transition for my wife, and she was the one doing the packing. She was taking the kids to school. So there was a lot of stress on her. So even though I knew that this was something that I wanted to do, I didn't want to go. I wanted to be there for my family. That was my choice. Mm-hmm. But we had shot it out thousands of dollars, right? To go do this, non-refundable really. You know what I'm saying? The flights were booked and everything. And my wife said, dude, I got it. Don't you do you, I got it. And my stubborn ass, no, I didn't want to go, bro. There I go. I'm on my way to fucking Poland, dude. Right?
Wait. Okay, wait.
I'm on my way to fucking Poland, dude. Right? Unhappy, bitter, feeling like I wasn't going to enjoy anything.
Where'd you fly into? Where'd you land in?
We landed in, it was not Poland. I forget the town, but from the from the airport, it was a 4-hour drive bus.
Like Warsaw?
Not
Warsaw.
No.
Poland?
I think it's like not Karpite. It's I'm drawing a blank.
So wait, did you fly out solo or did you meet the group and you guys all met together or just the people from Los Angeles?
I didn't even know how many people were going to be at this event, bro.
So you went by yourself on the plane?
I went by myself on the plane.
Oh, fuck.
I went by myself, and then when we landed, and
have you been to Europe before?
Never, dude.
Oh,
never.
Fuck. Okay.
And as soon as we got to the
flight?
airport,
13-hour flight?
It was like a 9.
Oh, that's not that
12-hour flight around there. Okay. But once we got to the hotel, to the airport, and we were starting to organize to get on the bus to now take us to the hotel or the resort, bro, you just start seeing bodies. Mm-hmm. Bodies, dude, going towards where they told us to go. Okay. Right? I'm like, dude, there's at least a couple hundred people here, dude.
Fuck.
A couple hundred people, dude. And at this point, I still wasn't even having it. I was still all fucking bitter, thinking about my family. You know what I mean? Like, they're all, I'm doing this expedition, and they're over there
going through
it. I felt like a piece of shit, dude. And so we end up hopping on the fucking bus, dude, right? And dude, it's like there was like 5 or 6 buses, dude, all going to the resort. So we end up getting to the resort, dude, like at 10:30 p.m. Right? We're exhausted, and we go into this town hall, right?
Hey, so when you guys all got together, did anybody say, "Hey, welcome to Poland"? Like, was there any announcement that was made?
I mean, everybody knew that we were there for the expedition, right? Because it was very well organized, right? You fly out, you get to the airport, where you land, and then from there they give you specific instructions of where to meet, like it was like this little cafe of where to meet, and that's where you just see hundreds of heads, right? So from there, we all hop on the bus, and at this point, I still don't even know how many people were there. I just knew that it was a lot. So we end up getting to the town hall, and they're like, "Look, we're just gonna do a quick open ceremony. You know, Wim Hof's gonna come out and just kind of thank everybody and just kind of open up, you know, the night, so to speak." And dude, when we get to the town hall, bro, there was close to 300 people there, dude. It was probably one of the biggest expeditions that they've had with that much of a turnout, you know? And I'm like, fuck, this is a lot of fucking people, dude. And there's people from all around the world. And, you know, they're just asking random people where they come from. Bro, throughout that entire week, I ended up finding out, dude, there was maybe less than 10 people from the U.S. alone. The U.S.
Did you
not
find
California.
Them? Hey, did you find them? Did you guys find each other?
No, not really, because, you know, people are just kind of saying where they come from. You know what I'm saying? Like where they flew out from and stuff, dude. Everybody was from around the world, which is powerful. It goes to show you the message. You know what I'm saying? And everyone's in this one modality of training, of system. And dude, to hear that those only, you know, a fraction of the people there from the U.S. alone was just mind-boggling, dude. Like, dude, we got to get our shit together. You know 100%, what I mean?
100%, dude. Absolutely. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking
right?
when you...
But, I mean, people from, you know, all over Europe, obviously, Africa, just from everywhere, dude. You know, Canada, like everywhere. So that was kind of cool to see. They were all in this together. You know what I mean? When I got there, dude, not only did I not want to be there, I was also dreading. I'm like, dude, I know every day is going to be like a boot camp, bro. Right? It's going to be cold baths. It's going to be polar plunges. It's snowing out there. There's fucking blizzards. You know what I mean? I'm like, who knows, you know, what we're going to be doing. I didn't want to be there, bro. You know what I mean? So
there was a lot of factors that made you not want to be there, like
100%.
And then home too.
Yeah, for sure.
Fuck,
yeah,
bro,
just to be there for the family.
So you know what? It's like that retreat was the perfect place for you. Well, it was.
No, it was.
Actually,
it seriously
you know what I'm
was.
saying?
Yeah.
Okay. You like that?
Yeah, it's good. It's really good.
Favorite item before?
Thank you. Yeah, for sure.
Like the gold?
Not as often, but dude, Michelob's all day.
Okay.
But dude, look at it. Organic, bro.
I know what the fuck.
Damn, bro. Just because I fucking take care of myself, dog, doesn't mean you gotta buy organic shit, bro.
Hey,
I couldn't drink fucking.
This is because they were in my backyard, Holmes. That's why. I got other ones in there too. So this is we have one of these left, and then
cherry,
we have
bro. This is perfect.
All right, good.
So anyway, it was a full 1 week event, and they don't tell you what's gonna happen. Man. And they end up breaking you into groups, obviously, because they can have 300 people doing, you know, the same obstacle or whatever. So they break you up into groups. So we were part of the red group, for example, and there's maybe, you know, 20 of us in this red group. And they say, all right, guys, you know, everyone go to sleep. Tomorrow, wake up at 7 a.m. and then meet straight at, you know, this hall, right? There's like multiple rooms in this hall, and we're going to do breath work. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like I've done a little bit of the breath work. You know what I'm saying? I was like, all right, cool. Bro, I thought the cold exposure was going to be a powerful experience, dude. And then we did fucking breath work, bro. That morning, right before breakfast, before anything, you brush your teeth, you know, you get down there, you hydrate, and you go immediately into breath work. And we start doing the Wim Hof method breath, you know, exercise.
And what is that?
And
just explain it.
It's a series of deep, intentional breaths, right? For a period of, call it 2 to 3 minutes. And then you do these retentions where you take a big inhale and then you hold your breath, right? Oh, I'm sorry. You take a big inhale. And then you hold your breath. Okay. And then you hold it for about 30 seconds and then you release. And then you hold that for like 15 seconds. And then you repeat the cycle over and over, right? And I knew the benefits of breath work in itself, right? Because there's so many different types of breath work from, you know, different areas of the world, you know. But Wim Hof specifically, right? There is obviously immune system, right? It activates your immune system. It also activates your adrenaline as well. It enhances your autonomic nervous system. So breath work alone, dude, there's something so powerful that I learned about breath work. That first morning, it was just with our group, our leader and everybody in our group, which was 20 heads. And during that session of breathwork, bro, I felt so relaxed and at peace, right? And I did these breathworks through Wim Hof's app at home, but it wasn't the same. And the reason why it wasn't the same is because there's 20 other people around you breathing, taking deep intentional breaths.
In rhythm?
Not everybody's in rhythm, but you can't cheat yourself, right? And you start to have this really cool, euphoric feeling. You start to feel lightheaded, but in a happy way. You know what I mean? It's not like a scary, like I'm about to pass out. Not like that. And we did that for about 30 minutes. And when I was done with that, I felt like a new person, right? And I'm like, dude, this is pretty damn rad and bizarre. So after that, we went into breakfast and then we went into lecture about breathwork. And then that's when Wim Hof came out and he started talking about all the benefits of breathwork and stuff.
Do you still have those notes?
I still have those notes, right? I had my book. I took my book. I purchased the Wim Hof Method book before I went out there. I wrote down all these notes and stuff, and then he ended up signing it out there, which was cool. But after we did lecture there, as they say, okay, of course, right? After that was done, all right, we'll go eat lunch. Meet us back here in your trunks.
What was for lunch?
Dude, the whole thing was dope, right? Like you're at this huge resort and it's all buffet style. Everything's buffet style, And I'm pescatarian. So they had fish for days, dude. And out there in Europe, it's just like a tremendous amount of fish and eggs and stuff. And there was a lot of really good food, right? But they tell you not to eat too much, right? So you're not going in the cold plunge and freak out and fucking throw up or something. But as soon as we're done eating, they say, all right, go get your trunks. And I'm like, fuck, here we go. Bro, I go back to my hotel room. I look outside and it's fucking just snowing, dude. It's fucking snowing, bro. And then I look at my phone and sure enough, bro, it's like 24 degrees, dude. I'm like, fuck, of course it is. Of course.
Yes.
So I look out, dude, and then I see these huge tubs, right? Like these mini pools. Dude, there's like 4 or 5 of them. So we're like, all right, fuck it, here we go. So we walk over to the pools and then he starts teaching us the horse dance. The horse dance is how you get into the posture where you bend your knees, right? And then you're just navigating energy to both sides, right? And that's how you start to actually warm your body up. And you do that before and after your cold plunges. You know what I mean? So we're doing this horse dance and you actually start to really warm up, bro. Like people are sweating, dude. You know what I mean? And we're outside, bro. It's like 20 something degrees Fahrenheit.
Controlling your temperature. Controlling your core temperature.
Yeah, raising it.
Right, raising it, yeah.
And, we just do a simple 2-minute cold plunge, right? Nothing crazy, but it's still.
How was that?
Dude, doing a cold plunge out there was far different from a cold plunge that I did here in the US or any cold shower. Now, don't get me wrong. The mindset's there. And what you learn, what I read is that, when you're going to do a cold plunge or even a cold shower, like for your listeners, man, when you tap into this, you want to set an intention. This is not something that you just fuck around with and just say, hey, dude, I'm just going to crank this cold or I'm just going to do a cold plunge you have to set an intention. You have to take it serious. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because if there is times where if you're not prepared, if you don't set an intention, if you go into, a lake and then fucking cut out a hole and jump, dude, you're going to fucking die. You're going to really fucking die. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So you have to seriously take it serious. Yeah. You have to set a serious intention. You can't fuck around with this. You know what I mean? And it seems cliche until you're actually there and you're actually in a cold plunge. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's here, whether it's in Poland and it's fucking 25 degrees outside. And you just have to take it serious and then set the intention and then connect your mind and body. And know that I'm going to do this for this reason, right? I'm prepared. And that's how you have to set your intention, you know? And when you jump in, it's like anything, bro. You can't like fucking tippy toe in. You have to just do your horse stance, you know what I'm saying? Warm up the body and then just get in there and breathe, motherfucker. That's what Wim Hof says, is breathe, motherfucker. That's what he says all the time, dude. And I swear, bro, when you're in there, bro, you have to remind yourself, because it's easy to just start to go into this, you know, into this out of control, you know, breathing pattern that's terrible for you. You know what I'm saying? It's going to make you even, you know, suffer in there. But that was day number 1, bro. And that right there, dude, after we did that cold plunge, between that and the breath work in the morning, bro, I was like, dude, I can go home today and I'd be solid. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so we had dinner and everyone's talking about their experience, dude, right? Mind you, this was a 5-day trip, bro.
Did a lot of people speak English?
Everybody spoke English.
Of course.
Bro. Everybody spoke English, you know?
Okay, all right.
But, so the next day, dude, right? We do the same thing. Wake up, we do our breath work. And this time we're actually going to a lake. Instead of a cold pool, we go into a lake. So we all go into our groups and we fucking do this 5-minute. And, you know, so every day they increase the time of how long you're inside the plunge. So in the lake, you do 5 minutes, okay. You know? So at this point, like, you've already started to set some gnarly intentions, you know? And
like, can you give me an example of setting an intention?
So an intention can, for me, for example, you know, before this was, what am I going to benefit from this? I'm already here. What am I going to benefit from this? And then wanting to show up for my family. You know what I mean? Doing this for my family because I know that there's so many health benefits. Like, what am I going to share? What legacy am I going to leave for my family? You know what I mean? So that's always been my intention. And for me, it just doesn't get old, bro. You know? And that night, dude, is after we had lunch. So the second day after we had lunch, you know, I was still struggling, bro, because I still didn't want to be there, even though we've done a few, you know, plunges already. And, you know, we were already, you know, doing some breath work and we were already there. Like I had, you know, there was nowhere for me to go, but just there. Mm-hmm. I still was not comfortable. And I ended up meeting up with this one dude from Africa, some really cool dude from Africa. He was actually Indian, but from Africa. And he was like this life coach guy, right? And then, you know, we were eating and then he says, hey, man, he's like, something seems like it's bothering you. Like something's bothering you, you know? And I'm like, you know, I'm still having a hard time adapting to be here. He's like, He says, do you have kids? I was like, yeah, you know? He's like, all right, cool. He's like, you know, when we're done eating, he's like, let me talk to you for a bit. And I was like, all right, cool. I'm like, what the fuck this guy's gonna talk to you about, you know? But after we're done eating, bro, he pulls me aside and we're like in one of the halls, you know, away from kind of everybody. And, you know, when you eat in a hall, like it buffet style, like everyone's there, bro. Everyone's there. And he starts to tell me, you know, it seems like, you know, and I started to tell him why I'm struggling. You know, like my family and they're there and they're packing and stuff. And he says, Joey, bro, you already here. He says, if your family means so much to you, the worst thing that you can do for your family is not learn and enjoy being here right now. Because if you're here with this shit face, right? And you're not taking anything from this, what else are you going to take back to your family? You're already here, bro. What are you going to do? It's up to you. And he says, it's all mindset. And I was like, you motherfucker, dude. It's all fucking mindset. After dinner that day, bro, after he told me that, I started to kind of open up my heart. And I said, you know what, dude? He's right. I'm already here. Let me learn anything and everything I can from already being here. Let me just open up and take it all in, bro. Take it all in, dude. The breath, the people, the food, the cold, everything, bro. Never traveling alone, right? It's always been my family. It's my first time traveling solo, especially so far. Let me do this for my family. The next round of breath work that night, the second day, was with Wim Hof. He was going to guide it. Bro, in this town hall, bro, all 300 people showed up. all fucking 3 people showed up. 300
Were
people.
Were there times when not everyone showed up?
There was, because, you know, like dinner, for example, right? Because everyone has their own little groups of when they do different obstacles, right?
Okay. Of course, not all 300 do shit at the same time.
Not all 3 can do it.
Separated everybody into groups. Okay, I get it. All right. Okay.
That night, Wim Hof is going to lead the breath work. By this point, I've already learned how to breathe his method. I've already opened up my heart, right? And I'm already there. I will do, bro, at this point, bro, I was open to receiving. That's all it was. So dude, I can't even explain it, bro. But Wim Hof's energy, bro, it's on a different level. This fucking dude's he's from a different planet. The way he guided his breath work was so sensitive yet alpha. It was so profound. He was so passionate, right? The way he was speaking, the tone of his voice was like he was talking to every single person there. And with so many people in that room, bro, taking deep, big, intentional breath, or big, deep, intentional breaths, all of a sudden, bro, we're breathing and you hear everybody just like screaming the way they're breathing, bro. You start to hear people crying. You start hearing people weeping. I hear this one motherfucker cry unconsolably, bro, during this breath work. Unconsolable, dude. As I'm breathing, I open my eye, dude, like I peek and I open, dude, he was probably like a 350-pound swollen, like he was all swole, tatted from his neck, dude, to his arms. Bald fucking dude just weeping. There was like 3 or 4 guides around him just consoling. He could not stop crying, dude, from breath work. And that itself gave me goosebumps because I started to think about what he was going through, what he was releasing. What as a man, what as a father was he releasing? And that's one thing that was way more profound to me than even the cold, was how we can face ourselves during this breath work. Because when you do, bro, when you're doing breath work, not only are you activating all these chemicals within your body, not only are you activating your autonomic nervous system, you feel so at peace that at once you can let go. Anything that you're fucking facing, whether it's, think you're a piece of shit dad, whether it's being overworked. And this is anybody. I'm not talking about just men or what anybody do. I mean, I saw women like convulsing, bro. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Everybody has something on their shoulders.
Absolutely.
Everybody fucking has childhood trauma. Everybody. I don't care who you are, bro. Everyone is facing something. But guess what? We all suppress it. Right? And this was the only fucking time that you feel like you can just let go. And as soon as I saw that motherfucker cry, dude, I felt it was okay to let go. And bro, the floodgates just fucking opened up, bro. The fucking floodgates opened up and I don't even know why. You know what I mean? But I felt okay. I felt the presence. I felt like everybody in that fucking room was holding each other. Dude, it was like a 45-minute breath work, dude. And once you're done, bro, everybody, there's couples there that are just like, they're hugging each other tight. There's strangers just hugging each other. There's people just like still getting over the trauma of crying so fucking much. It was just like something I've never seen in my life, dude. I'm not even kidding, bro. I saw this one female next to me, dude. She was like convulsing, bro. And the guys were just putting their hand like, on her shoulder and just letting her know that she was okay and she was safe, bro. And I remember when we were done, she says, I don't even know what happened. I don't remember shit. She's like, but I feel fucking amazing.
Dude, that's fucking crazy. Okay, so you know what this is reminding me of? I'm going to tell you what I'm just thinking about right now. So, one other one? I got you. So, in our lungs, supposedly in our lungs, that's where we have the largest amount of natural DMT.
Yeah. Yep.
Right?
Yes.
And we can access that through breathing.
Right.
Okay. So I'm thinking about that. And then I'm also thinking and picturing when I've seen people who go on ayahuasca retreats.
Yeah.
And they're going through kind of like going through similar of what you're describing.
Yeah.
So I wonder if there was an interaction, there had to have been an interaction between DMT released from your lungs due to the breathing and the feeling. No, there's a relationship between the DMT being released in your lungs from the breathing and the feeling that you were all feeling.
You're going to face it. Whatever it is, when people go into ayahuasca retreats, they're facing their biggest fear, what they need to overcome, right? And some say that part of that healing process, right, if you suffer from PTSD or whatever, is that you're borderline feel like you're dying, right? So the alternative to that is the appreciation of life. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And similar to that in breath work is you're facing whatever it is you think that you need to face or let go, right? And that's another important thing to remember is just like your cold plunges is when you do your breath work, you need to set an intention too. Why am I doing this? You know what I'm saying? It's going to be so much more profound when you set intentions for all this stuff. Just like it is for anyway. You know, like when you talk to your kids about what are you grateful for? Those are intentions, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like those are important intentions about, you know, what you are grateful for. So it's all connected, bro. It's all connected. It just looks a little different.
Sounds to me that this retreat was more than an opportunity to learn about breathing, an opportunity to learn about cold plunge.
Yeah.
It was so much more than what I thought it would have been.
Yeah.
Because of
same here.
Right? So
Same
you didn't
here.
expect.
Bro, I didn't expect any of this, dude. I didn't know. I mean, there's no itinerary. You know what I'm saying? They just give you a things to pack list. That's it. You know? Boots, a lot of shorts. I'm like, wait a minute, it's fucking snowing out here. Why do I got to pack so many shorts? You know what I mean? You know? Clips for my boots. You know?
What do you mean clips for your boots?
Well, for the snow. So you don't lose traction. So there's like spikes for your boots.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, goggles. And we'll get into that right now. But yeah, dude, but that night, bro, the way I slept was just like no other.
Were you dreaming at all
That
more than
night,
often?
I don't remember dreaming. I just remember knocking out early and finally being at peace to be there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm.
And knowing and trusting my wife on her end, knowing that maybe, you know, she had to be there and do that on her own. I'm a true believer that, you know, we're always at the right place at the right time. You know what I'm saying? Always, doesn't matter, good or bad. And there's always a lesson for that, you know?
Yeah, no such thing as coincidence.
No such thing. Yeah.
Everything happens for a reason.
You're at the right place. And there's, I'm going to quote a coach, a life coach that my wife follows. His name is Peter Crone. He says, you know, things didn't happen any other way because they didn't. Or it happened exactly the way it was supposed to because it didn't happen any other way. You know what I mean? So you can, you know, apply that to anything in life. A car accident. It happened exactly the way it was supposed to be because guess what? It's not like you avoided a fucking car. You know, you were in a fucking accident. Whatever the lesson is, whatever was supposed to, it happened. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
What's the lesson? There's always a fucking lesson. Now, if you don't believe in learning a lesson for every experience, dude, then that's on you, dog. You're not growing. You know what I mean?
100%. 100%. You would not be who you are today if it wasn't for what you went through.
Of course.
And
yeah.
Everything that you went through happened because you have to be who you are today.
100%. 100.
Yeah. We need to go through, you know, all the everything that we go through in life, especially the hard shit, dog. There's good things that happen for a reason as well, but hard shit happens for a reason because it's almost as if you're being initiated into the next level.
Yeah.
Like you said earlier, you were attracted to the cold because it was hard.
Yeah.
You don't grow from easy shit.
No way.
You grow from doing hard shit.
And guess what, bro? We can do hard stuff, bro.
Fuck yeah.
We can do hard stuff.
Fuck yeah. Hard shit, hard stuff is good.
All good. Yeah. So, but again, what are we learning from that? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that night, Bull, I felt like, dude, like, bro, I can leave right now and I'd be a changed fucking man for life. But this was only on fucking day 2, bro. This is day 2. You know what I mean?
Day 205.
Yeah, day 205.
All right.
Like, fucking, what do we got next? You know what I mean? Well, guess what? The next day was going to be the jump. The jump. So I'm like, fuck. I'm not afraid of heights. I can care less for them. Like, I'm not, like, I can go on roller coasters all day. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm like at fucking the highest peak of the building, like, I'm not going to be one of those dudes that's like on top. Climb. Yeah, exactly. So we're doing the cliff jump. So I'm like, fuck, here we go. So we do this decent little hike. And remember, this is like, we still start off our morning with our breath work. You know, we eat breakfast. We do lecture. And then, you know, we do the activity for the day. Well, the activity for the third day was going to be the cliff jump. So I'm like, here we are. I've already instilled in my mind, I'm going to learn and enjoy every single moment. And whatever happens, happens. I'm here. So we do this small little, you know, hour hike. And it's, you know, it's probably 3 or 4 groups at this point. You know, it isn't just like my 20 group person. There's like, you know, close to 100 of us there. And you know, we're like 45, 50 minutes in. And as we're in the snow, in our boots, you know, and we're still like in, you know, we're like dressed regular, you know, it's not like we've taken anything off, we're in our jackets and stuff. And all you hear is drum. Fade away. And then we just keep walking, dude. And we turn the corner, we see a waterfall. At the top of the fucking waterfall is Wim Hof. In his fucking poncho, playing on the drum. Opening up the fucking ceremony. As everybody gets to the bottom of the fucking cliff, he stands up, he takes his fucking poncho off, and he just jumps into the fucking river.
How high?
Bro, it's 10 kilometers. Or it's 10 meters. Sorry, 10 meters. My
30
bad.
feet.
It's 30 feet, bro. 30 fucking feet, and he just jumps.
Fuck.
He swims out, right? And then he walks back up to the top. He puts on his poncho and he starts fucking drumming. One by one, bro. We're all taking all of our clothes off, leave our fucking little chonies, and we're all fucking walking up, dude.
Wait, what do you mean leave your chonies, dog?
No, we're like, you fucking like, you have your trunks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People are fucking freaking out, right? There's some people that are like, fuck, I don't know if I can do this obstacle. Like, this is a tough one, you know? And it looks high, but like anything, bro, you don't realize how high it is until you get up there.
It's fucking higher.
It's fucking higher, dog. It's fucking higher. So, you know, everyone's fucking walking up and jumping, and I'm like, fuck, and I start getting in my head, right?
So, hey, before you guys went up there and jumped, did anybody coach you on how to jump properly? And
yes.
How to pencil in?
100%.
Okay.
100%. So there was him playing the drum, and then there was a guide, a lady up there that was telling you exactly how to jump and where.
Okay.
Right? You want to jump towards the darkest part of the water because some parts were shallow and then some parts were really deep. So she's like, dude, deep, you know, the darkest parts, that's where you want to jump. That's the deepest part. You know, some people were hurting themselves a little, just not paying attention. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, everyone was fine. But, you know, I'm walking up, you know, and we're just chilling up there. And there's like 3 people left before I jump. And, you know, some people are taking a little more time up there than others. Third person jumps. Second person jumps.
What are you feeling? What are you feeling?
Bro, at this point, I'm like, this is nerve-wracking because as you're walking up, you feel like, fuck, dude, this is getting high up here. You know what I'm saying? The fucking water looks fucking deep. Bro, mind you, and I'm going to show you photos. There's snow everywhere, bro. The only thing keeping the water from freezing over is the running water. Oh, that's the only thing keeping it from freezing over. That's it. But there's snow everywhere, dog. So I'm next, right? And she looks at me and she says, "You ready?" And I'm like, "I'm fucking ready." As I look down, I'm like, fuck, this is deep, dog. This is so high. She tells me where to jump, bro. Wim Hof is right there on the other side. He looks at me, dog, and he just nods his head. Enough said. And I don't even think twice, bro. I fucking jump, and you're in the air for seconds, dude. Like, just fucking falling.
This is happening. It's amazing. Keep your focus, okay?
Well, once your body hits that fucking water, dog, it was the coldest thing you've ever felt, but your adrenaline's already sky high from psyching yourself going up there, and then the jump. I'm not even kidding, bro. You feel like a brand new fucking person. People were hitting the water and just fucking crying straight up just from sheer, adrenaline. Happiness, and the water was so fucking cold, but it felt so good. It felt so good. So once you hit the water, you swim out and you can't help but just get emotional. You know what I'm saying? Because again, you just, overcame a huge feat. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's
a huge challenge.
Height. I'm sorry. Heights. The fear of heights, I feel like that's like a fucking innate. Like it's like a fear, dog. Yeah. Nobody wants to fall off something high.
Nobody wants to. No, of course not.
Especially intentionally.
Exactly.
But then there's some crazy motherfuckers that realize it's fun.
Yeah, I agree. So. Yeah. And again, it's not that you're necessarily fearful, but there's so many elements of like, dude, we're out. Like anything can happen.
In the fucking
cold
snow.
as fuck. You're in the snow.
Drums.
And it's just like there's hype everywhere, dude.
There's parts of the river that are shallow.
100%. Like I got to do this right. You know what I'm saying? I'm at a retreat.
Yeah.
I'm in Poland. You know what I'm saying? Like, exactly.
Yeah. My fucking wife's at home with my fucking kids.
Quit being a bitch and jump.
You know what I mean? Dude, that's crazy, man.
And dude, again, after that fucking jump, dude, I'm just like, bro, this just gets better and better every fucking day, dude. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so after that hike, we walk back and, everyone's, getting ready for dinner and just talking about the challenges. And yeah, some people got hurt, you know what I'm saying? And, you see people.
No serious injuries though, right?
No crazy serious injuries.
Just little things here and there.
Yeah, little scratches and stuff. I think one lady actually really broke her leg. But anyway, they do the best that they can with instructing. You know what I mean? And you just, in my opinion, you just got to follow instructions and jump towards the
dark water.
The darkest parts, the water. But dude, that was a fucking trip right there.
That's crazy.
That jump right there, dude, 30 plus feet, man, that was just something else.
And you have to do it.
And you got to do it. Yeah.
You can't not go.
I mean, there was probably 4 or 5 people that didn't do it.
I bet you today they fucking regret that.
Oh, regret it 100%.
I guarantee you they do.
There was this one cat that didn't even know how to swim that jumped.
Woo!
Bull did not know how to swim.
Woo!
Some Indian cat did not know how to swim. His name was Suk.
And was he like, hey, I don't know how to swim, but I'm fucking doing it?
I'm going to fucking do it. So there was 2 people down at the bottom that had jumped right before him, waiting for him.
All right.
That fucking dude jumped and just, same thing, was crying just from just sheer adrenaline and happiness. You know what I mean?
Exhilaration.
Yeah. And in the video, the promo video that you may see, like today, he's on there too. You'll see little bits of me and stuff like that when we did that, the mountain hike and stuff. But yeah, that was day number 3. And then day number 4, we did the hike. We did about a 13-mile hike. We all knew this was going to be like, the end all, like the final, obstacle. And this was a 13+ mile hike in the blizzard, boots and shorts. That's it. Shirtless and in shorts. That's it, bro.
Breakfast, breathing.
breathing, breakfast, go to the hotel, put your shorts on and your boots, and let's get back to the entrance of the hotel, to the lobby, and we're gonna head straight there. We're just gonna walk it. And the hotel's nice and warm, so everyone takes their shirt off right before we walk out, and everyone's feeling good. A little fearful, a little adrenaline. The moment both of those front doors open, bro, tell me how many people didn't want to flip a bitch and say, I'm out. Just from the exit of the fucking hotel, dog. So we just start going on this hike. We start hiking right out of the hotel, bro. And it was a almost 3-hour one-way hike.
Whoa.
And the benefit, dude, part of this that I want to mention is, when you're doing all these obstacles, when you're doing all these feats, you need to practice your breath. That's the only thing that's going to get you through it, bro. People always ask, do you hyperventilate or do you, get hypothermia? Like, sure, if you're not doing things properly for a long period of time, sure, you can, yeah. But if you're breathing correctly and you're taking deep, intentional breaths, not short, shallow breath. Short, shallow breaths is what 80% of the population are walking around breathing. Short, shallow breath. Our lungs, you're not even feeling 80%. 60%, I forget what the percentage, but it's such a small percentage of what we're truly filling our lungs with oxygen throughout the day, and it's astonishing low. It's called shallow breathing.
Right.
If you just at any point throughout the day, you focus on your breath, you're like, dude, that was a piece of shit breath. That was like a little. Yet we have our lungs that are, have so much more capacity that we don't fill up. That's so essential for your entire endocrine system, your autonomic nervous system, for your entire body. It's so beneficial, yet we're not using nearly half of the amount of what our body needs to thrive. We're only breathing enough to keep us alive.
Whoa.
That's it. So what I've started to do is, after I left that retreat, bro, is I started to set alarms. I don't need them now, but I started to set alarms throughout the day. It's just to take deep, intentional breaths. You know what I'm saying?
Right. To remind you.
Just to remind you. The only time we take deep breaths is when we're stressed.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So getting through any of these obstacles or challenges, you're going to get through it through the power of willingness, set an intention, and your breath at the end of the day. Because you need to deliberately want to do this. You need to set the intention and do it. You can't be, no one can force you to do this. If someone's going to force you, hold you down and throw you in a fucking polar plunge, like, you're going to be terrible. You're going to be miserable. You're not going to get any of the benefits of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You need to deliberately want to do it.
And believe in it.
And believe in it 100%. So when we did that hike, bro, the first 20 minutes was like excruciating. I mean, it felt like needles just hitting your chest. But you have a backpack, you have your hands just behind your kidneys right here, and you just focus on your breath one step at a time. That's all you can do. It's just the now. It's very meditative, bro. It's just the now. One foot in front of the next. Mm-hmm. Without the expectation of, are we there yet? Right. Are we done?
You can't do that.
You can't do that, bro.
Little by little.
Little
one
by
step
little.
at a time.
When you see so many people, bro, people that had terminal illnesses, cancers, people that had arthritis, bro, you had people that are 70 years old doing this hike. You're like, fuck yeah, I can do this. Good for them for trying it. Some people had to turn back, you know, but for the most part, I would say like 98% of the people completed it.
That's a lot.
Doesn't matter how old they were, didn't matter any of that. And that was the power, dude. That was so profound to see so many people from around the world doing this one thing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And just putting one foot in front of the next. You know what I'm saying?
Fucking humans, dude.
Humans. What we're capable of.
Fucking humans, dude.
And within like 3 hours, dude, we get to this small little yellow house. It's like a little restaurant, dude, right? And I'll show you the video, dude, but It's been a 2-hour, 45-minute hike up this gnarly mountain, and we've approached the yellow house. Woo! Made it! Woo! You know, we're like 2 hours, 45 minutes in, we finally see the yellow house. It's fucking blizzard. You know, winds are blowing 50, 60, 70 miles per hour. And I remember looking at my phone to see how cold it was, bro, right? And this was in Celsius out there, dude, but it was like negative, you know, whatever. But I converted it to Fahrenheit, dude. Yeah, bro. And it was like 16 degrees Fahrenheit, bro.
Oh, that's fucking
16
cold,
fucking degrees. Shirtless.
Yeah.
In shorts.
Was there a wind?
Fucking strong, dude. Strong. But you look back and you just see 150 people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, how inspiring, how motivational was that?
Right.
For all of us, for them, for you, you know?
Right. That's a lot of energy going on right there.
It's a lot of fucking energy, you know? And everyone's going through the same thing. Everyone's in their head, you know?
Were people like, hey, let's go. There it is. Were the people like talking and, you know, being motivational to each other, being supportive to each other, right? I could imagine.
100%.
Yeah.
There's so much camaraderie, you know, within this space. One thing I realized, bro, is that when you're doing breath work, when you're doing cold plunge, and I think in life, bro, like childhood shit, dude, you know, when we were younger, bro, the ego was fucking, it took over. But your ego is not your amigo, dude. I'm telling you right now. Like, you have to leave that at the door.
Can you say that again?
Your ego is not your amigo, bro. Come on, your ego is not your amigo. You know? You have to learn how to dissolve that, because if not, it's going to get into your head and you're going to try to do things, you know, physically versus mentally, you know? And what I realized is when I started to do a little bit of some workshops after that retreat, bro, I noticed that huge bodybuilders, strong dudes were having the most challenges in these cold plunges for that same very reason, is that, you know, huge men, you know, they like to overcome challenges with strength. You know what I mean? But when you're in a cold plunge, bro, when you're doing a hike, it's like you got to tap into here, bro. You know what I'm saying? Your muscles ain't going to help you, you know? And it's so powerful to see the power of the mind throughout all human beings, bro, regardless of your age, regardless of what terminal illness you have, you know, regardless of what you're going through at home, doesn't matter, dude. Like, you're here all for one cause, you know? And as we're in this like blizzard walking and you see the yellow house, it's like a little restaurant, bro, and everyone's just all pumped, can't wait to get in. But there's one thing we didn't think about.
The walk back.
Not only the walk back, bro, there's something called after drop.
What the fuck is that?
After drop, bro.